Good morning and welcome everyone to majestic Kashmir. This is a place where every person on earth would once love to visit. But right now, the paradise on earth is ready to host an exciting battle in the I-League. It is the home side, their favorite Real Kashmir, who take on Gokulam, Kerala, who have travelled a long way from down south to up north for this crucial encounter. It is 11 a.m. kickoff, a bit preponed than regular, and this is the home side's dressing room. Real Kashmir, they are very dangerous at home. The snow leopards, as they're called. There has been a bit of snow, I believe, last night as well. It's very cold right now, and there's the arrival of the home side a while ago, earlier in the morning. Myself, Vashvar Ghosh, alongside me in the comm box, Rohit Ganguly.
Very good morning, Bhaskar, and a very chilly morning as well in Kashmir. And I just couldn't, but I'll get back to this part for sure because I'm going to preserve that for last. But of course, Ishfaq Ahmed, the coach of Real Kashmir FC, had certainly got a piece to say. We'll definitely wait for him to, or we'll definitely wait to listen to him. Krizo and the others heading out to the center.
इधर से भी उल्टा हो गया.
Well, it looks like we'll have to wait to watch what he had to say. But Gokulam, Kerala, they will be another team to watch out for. Of course, they've had their ups and downs in this tournament. But then again, with that being said, they are a team that can never be written off. They are still in the hunt and very much in the hunt for the big prize. Under the chaperonage of Domingo Ramos Cabrera.
Hello?
Well, he had quite a lot to say, and I'll get back to you, Bhashwar. This is going to be a very important fixture in terms of the points table as well, and after yesterday's couple of games, 2 back-to-back upsets, the points table is right open, and anything can happen. Certainly, Mohammedan Sporting has got a fair advantage right now. Well, there you go, the points table. Gokulam Kerala has dropped to 6th. But if they go on to win this fixture, they'll again climb up to that 4th position where Shillong Lajong is currently sitting. But trying to win it in the house of the Snow Leopards, well, that is like challenging the impossible itself.
Well, it is almost challenging the impossible, but they will believe nothing is impossible and they will bring their best game out. But Real Kashmir, We'll have a look at the lineups of the squads before speaking further. But if Real Kashmir get points, 3 points to be precise, they will move to second ahead of Srinidhi Deccan. And there's the lineup with 4-3-3, Mohit on goal, Wayne Vaz, Hamad Shaheen and Dion in the back line, Issa, Carlos Lomba and Jeremy in the midfield, and Ashrar Raber, Krizo and Muhammad Inam. The front three very, very effective flanks with Asrar Rahabar and Muhammad Inam. And the midfield is very strong, especially with Jeremy growing more around those two quality foreigners, the likes of Carlos and Kamalesa.
Well, talking about the Malabarians, Gokulam Kerala, their starting 11 will look like Devansh under the woodwork, Vikas Hakku, Salam Ranjan Singh and Shahib. In the defence, Rishad Edubidia and Abhijit in the midfield, where Sentami, Komron Tusunov and Shrikuttan VS will be manning that attacking line. But there's another name that has to be talked about when it comes to Gokulam Kerala, and that is Alejandro Sanchez Lopez. The match officials for the day is Deepu Roy. He's going to be the referee. The first assistant referee is going to be Kuldeep Singh Tarial. Pratik Arun Bajaj is the second assistant referee, wherein the fourth official is Mithun Kumar Kundu.
Well, what an atmosphere we've got here every time. The land of Kashmir never fails to impress, and since the I-League has moved to this special venue, we of course have enjoyed watching their team play and this destination as well. But more than that, the way the Snow Leopards play at home, they just look untouchable. To beat them is difficult. They now have 4 back-to-back clean sheets, and 3 of them in this very venue. A hat-trick of clean sheet, a hat-trick of unbeaten matches, and they will hope to continue that run, because after this, most probably they will have to move away from home for a while. That's generally the scenario when the snow starts falling down here in Kashmir.
Well, since you talked about snow, I was trying not to say this out for a long time. I was trying to control myself, but then again, a scenario like this, and where two teams of entirely contrasting cultures, two teams of entirely contrasting conditions in their respective homes have arrived here at the TRC Turf. So let me say this out loud. Bhashwar, hell froze over as Real Kashmir lock horns with Gokulam Kerala. And ladies and gentlemen, just to give you all a heads up, this game has been preponed from its usual time of 2 p.m. due to security concerns, and it's being played behind closed doors. But then again, that does not take away any thrill, any excitement whatsoever.
Well, it doesn't, and the fans will of course miss it, but I'm sure they are watching it live here, and they will be enjoying this entertaining contest between two tough sides. One who have won the I-League twice in the last 3 editions. Gokulam Kerala been participating in the AFC Cup as well. They are very, very strong sides, and with revamp and reinforcements, they look even more stronger. The likes of Alex Sanchez is on the bench today, of course, and Komron Tusunov is starting. His supply will primarily come from Edu Bhatia, all experienced and a special magical left foot.
Well, I'll come to the match insights slightly later. As you pointed out in your last statement, that the fans will be catching all the action live on the television screen or on fan code or on the official YouTube channel of AIFF, whatever is convenient with them. Bhashwar, I think our responsibility today gets a lot bigger, for it's not just going to be the contest but also the storytelling that we bring with us to bring this match even livelier to the audience. Now, getting to the match, of course, the one name that you talked about, Alejandro Sanchez on the bench. Certainly, he is someone who can change the complexion of the game, and just because he's on the bench doesn't necessarily mean that Gokulam will not be bringing him on. He usually comes out in matches like these, out in the second half, and then the kind of pace and power and frenzy he brings along with himself, I mean, that is absolutely crazy. The two captains out in the center, Shrikuttan leading the likes of Gokulam Kerala today, while in the usual, Mohammad Hamad will be spearheading the Real Kashmir side.
Well, a new captaincy responsibility here for Gokulam Kerala. The Srikuttan VS has been very effective for Gokulam over the years. Down the wings, providing supply and of course scoring a few crucial goals. He is habituated at doing that. He also provided an assist against this very side in their last meeting just a year ago. Actually, it was this year itself, rather the previous edition of the I-League. Royal Kashmir are ready, so is Gokulam. But I'll tell you the problem for Gokulam. The highest temperature at Kerala, even yesterday and today, it's around 32 degrees centigrade, and here last night it was -2 degrees centigrade. That's the difference, an issue that Gokulam have to deal with.
Well, I think you just got to adapt to the situations. That is why when you arrive to the hills and the mountains out in the winter, it's always going to be difficult. But at the end of the day, what does matter eventually is that you stay in the hunt. I mean, it's understandable that it's going to be difficult, all odds will be against you, but what makes Gokulam Kerala truly a side of intent, truly a side that can conquer any hostility, I think it is their presence on the field in the first place and their constant attempt to try and keep on soaring at the top. They may have slipped down to that 6th position for a while, but they started the tournament on a pretty decent note. Off late though, they are still to find some foothold of theirs, but you never know. And Krizo gets us underway here from the left as Real Kashmir attack on your screen from the left to the right in their signature yellow and black. Attacking on your frame from the right to the left, dressed in their exuberant red, is Gokulam Kerala.
Well, plenty of goals the previous day. We'll wait to see if there's too many here as well, which is a rare occasion for away teams. But the home team might fancy some. And as you rightly mentioned, they're in a position which they're not habituated to be in. But one win can change things. A win takes Real Kashmir directly to 2nd position. And a win for Gokulam gets them back in the mix, level with Lajong, who are on 3rd. And that loss for Lajong, and Jeremy twisting and turning, somewhat dancing, but miss passes. And now Gokulam will look to go on the counter. That's solid, but there's a slip here, and Komron Tusunov is interested straight away. He is the most threatening one in this Gokulam attack. Komron Tusunov driving inside, looking for a pass. He still keeps running and tried to be cheeky through the legs of the keeper and escape for Real Kashmir early on.
Well, absolutely, no questions about that. But then again, just talking about the conditions, since we were mentioning that, I think for Gokulam Kerala, they will have to be very smart in this case. Because when the conditions are overwhelmingly against you, first and foremost, you need to apply yourself. You need to know when to put in that exertion, when to put in that those tiring runs as well, so that towards the end of the game, towards the last 20 minutes, you just do not go out on an empty gas tank. I mean, obviously with 5 substitutions, that shouldn't be the cause. Decent goalkeeping there from Real Kashmir as their goalkeeper, Mohit Shabir, comes out knocking on the doors.
Well, good goalkeeping, commanding for the 2nd time now. Twice it was Komron Tusunov. And Gokulam, as you rightly said, they have to be aware when and how much to run in these kind of conditions. It will make sure that they do not run out of legs and energy late in the game, when Real Kashmir like to hunt down their prey. And it's time to see if in this condition of Kashmir, the heat of Gokulam can be brought on here. And if they can melt the snow, or will the snow leopards hunt down their prey, just like they like to do in this venue.
Well, if we take a closer look at Real Kashmir's lineup, I think the real gems for them has stayed in their defense. The likes of Wayne Vaz, the likes of Mohammad Hamad, I mean, they have been absolute stalwarts in that rear guard of theirs. And that is where the actual challenge lies for Gokulam Kerala. They certainly has got some decent firepower, but at the end of the day, now Real Kashmir may have a chance. A bit of a knock around there by Kamalissa, but the Ghanaian was objected in a pretty legit manner.
The Royal Kashmir having possession right now, trying to move forward and gradually in this current style of play under their head coach Ishfaq Ahmed will continue the discussion after this attack from the right. Come Royal Kashmir across in the box, a bit away from Krizo, but Jeremy will keep it in. Kashmir continue moving forward. Another cross, a mistake from the defense. Later for Inam, who switches it to the right. And another chance to drive inside the box. Inam with his left, he likes that. And misses by margins. Just swings the other way from what he wanted to be.
Well, Krizo is just pointing out why not a pass towards that far right once again. Maybe set it up on the ground. But you also need to realize that Mohammad Inam, he's a very young player. So obviously he'll take his time to learn, and it's not going to be easy. Krizo now on a bit of high press, just trying to balance the scales here. Now one particular problem for Real Kashmir away from home or in home has been that Krizo has been often singled out. So maybe he's not getting the desired support that he will want. Here's a chance for Real Kashmir though, as they knock on the doors. Asaya once again plays it amongst Mohammad Inam. And now it goes all the way back to Wayne Vaz, a former player of Churchill Brothers.
Kashmir just maintaining the possession. You mentioned about Krizo being singled out, but I was just about to talk the same, but not about him being singled out, but about the strategy which Ishfaq Ahmed brought in with this team this season. Generally, the last time Krizo was here out with Kashmir, it was almost as if Real Kashmir were trying to feed those long balls to Krizo and find him, and that is why it looked a bit clumsy. But this season, it has been very interesting from Ishfaq Ahmed, the way Real Kashmir built up and Krizo being involved in those moves. He as a player has grown and really adapted to this style of play from Ishfaq Ahmed, which is very appreciable. We'll have to see if he can continue the same, not just scoring goals, but his touches and movement has been excellent for Real Kashmir this season especially.
Undoubtedly, there's no questions about that. Of course, the way, first and foremost, Ishfaq learned how to go ahead and use Krizo. That is important, because it's not always that just because a player is slightly inactive that means that he is not up to the mark. Maybe it's style of play. Mohammad Ahmad with a long throw in there, sends it into the box. Krizo with a bit of touch with the header of his, but then again that opportunity goes begging. Now, yeah, getting back to what we were talking about, it's not necessarily that a player is not always on the right foot or a player is not always in his element. Maybe at times the style of his team's play is not suiting him, so just the kind of football that you would expect from him, that goes missing. But with that being said, it's, as you pointed out, it's very impressive to see how Ishfaq Ahmed has just built his team around Krizo and turned it into a puzzle that has finally been solved. This looks like a lovely chance, but I think the angle was a bit too acute. But Real Kashmir is now upping the ante for themselves.
And again, just when we were discussing about Krizo, there was that little touch from him to release Aswar Rahbar, who's been very dangerous down the flanks, combining with the strikers, both the wingers actually. But now a set piece. A corner kick, the first of the game, and Jeremy takes a shot. Asrar Rahbar, different ideas. Mohammad Inam has quality, this youngster, towards the far post. A touch and a mistake and a save from Devansh. This is top quality, eventually, after an initial mistake from Devansh. And a good attack from Real Kashmir. The captain was at the end of it.
Well, Mohammad Hamad, once again, I think it was offside, is it? No, it looks like a corner has been given, but what an opportunity for Real Kashmir. And I think they are right now discussing amongst themselves who's going to be the one. Jeremy Lalvin Puya, he can definitely send in those whiplash of set pieces into the box, and they come knocking on the doors from the left. There it comes once again, but straight into the hands of Devansh Damas under the sticks.
Well, the last attack, it wasn't actually Devansh making the save, it was the upright coming in the way. Another shot from a narrow angle, and this time it is a goal kick. They thought there was a touch from the keeper, but Jeremy, what a brave attempt from that angle. And Will Kashmir are just bringing on the heat here in the snow.
Well, Real Kashmir, they are at the moment primed and ready to shoot everything they come close to. Every time they have a sniff of the goal, they go hammering around. And those last couple of enterprises, those last couple of infringements are just a testimony to how dangerous they can be. And Wayne Vaz and Mohammad Ahmad will take their time for this throw-in. I think even Real Kashmir has been very, very smart. They are not exerting early in the game. They'll wait, and eventually when the iron is hot, they'll strike. Mohammad Ahmad with another long throw-in into the box. Repelled away comfortably. And back to Mohammad Ahmad once again.
Still with Real Kashmir since a good long while now, and the defense needs to be aware because Jeremy all the time is behind that last fullback trying to make that run. Jeremy controls. He's been so impressive, but that pass to Inam was not that impressive because he was tracking back from an offside position. Possession back with Gokulam Kerala then finally.
Of course, a sigh of reprieve for them, but once again, just because Gokulam Kerala has been high on attack doesn't necessarily mean that they've got the job done. We saw yesterday, unless you are crossing that goal line, nothing is assured, because I think you would remember it very well. It was a contest between Shillong Lajong and Aizawl, and Kareem Abdul Sam was denied twice by the woodwork and once by a goal line save. So unless you're crossing that line, I think no matter what imperious dominion you're needing, that would count. That's another lovely ball and a crucial intervention there by Gokulam Kerala. That is an example of what timely defense can do to you.
Well, that is committed defending from Wayne Vaz, I believe, but Inam tries again, and Krizo just stopped his run, thinking that the pass wouldn't come to him. But another great attack just before this with that Wayne Vaz stop. Apologies, not Wayne Vaz, it was Abdul Haku. Wayne Vaz is playing as right full back for Real Kashmir. He's involved in most of those throw-ins and attacks down the right-hand side at the moment. But Gokulam survive, and they are having some early scares here. And a free kick. The decision is not liked by Shaheen.
Shaheen is just asking Edobedia to shut up. He's just asking him to zip his mouth, but I think Edobedia is just trying to point out that he may have got stamped. But then again, in football we'll see a lot of those actions happening, but with all of it in place, eventually it's the goal that talks. Now who gets the first goal, only time shall reveal it all. Edobedia just asking his players, definitely Real Kashmir, they've got a very good base of overseas players. There's another long ball, and that will go out of play. A goal kick here for Gokulam Kerala. In fact, for Real Kashmir, apologies.
Well, wasted attempt from the free kick. You can understand what he was looking for, the run of Komron Tursunov, but a little change in the way they're playing. It's not Komron Tursunov who is leading lines. It is the youngster Sentinel, who's got very much dangerous attacking abilities, especially the way he's played in the Kerala Premier League a season or two ago, and then signed by the Kerala Blasters to Chennai FC in the ISL, from where he's down here to the I-League for Gokulam. There he wins a free kick, very physical, and it is tough against these tall and strong centre-backs. But when you have a free kick in this position, Gokulam have enough in their back.
Well, you can never write Gokulam Kerala off, because they are a team that will keep on knocking on your doors over and over again. They will not let you breathe. They do have the firepower. Just because the conditions are in your favor, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will have the match back. This is a test for Mohit Shabir. Mohit Shabir has proven himself under countless circumstances. Komron Tursunov and Edobedia, we know Edobedia can get a few crosses in to the mix, of course, and so can Komron Tursunov. Now Komron Tursunov's free kicks, they are usually a lot flatter and he drills it pretty hard, but for Edobedia is more about the curl.
Well, let's find out who takes it. Left of Erubedia or the right of Komron Tusunov. He has the ability, both have the ability to find the net. It seems to be Komron Tusunov. A clever attempt, but not enough power. Didn't expect that, actually. Just tried to be cute and precise in that bottom corner.
First shot from Gokulam Kerala was kind of written in the stars. Komran Tusunov never really goes for those high free kicks. He keeps it real low. But for him, it's about placement. For him, it's about spotting that speck of gap in the wall. And he'll then poke at that. But again, decent goalkeeping as Real Kashmir wanted to take the ball forward, but eventually was brought down by a melee of Gokulam Kerala boots. It's Mohammad Anam once again, the youngsters working pretty hard, because under such glacial conditions, you have to be always at your peak.
Well, a free kick for Real Kashmir right now. We say about being at the peak. They want to be at the peak of the league table as well. This win will help their cause. If they can find it, of course. A long way to go now. Just the first quarter of an hour played. A free kick from Carlos Lomba. These deliveries, the curl on those, are looking dangerous time and again. But now Gokulam can break on the counter. Good defending Ken. This is one thing we always have to continuously talk about throughout the game. The defense of Real Kashmir, because that doesn't stop impressing.
This time Gokulam Kerala's attempt to send the ball downtown was refuted. 60% ball possession for the Snow Leopards. For the Malabarians, it's 40%. Again, taking the entire surrounding into consideration, taking all the odds that have been stacked up against the visitors in this condition. I think this looks to be a pretty fairly even Stevens contest so far. In fact, Gokulam Kerala, they have had one of the chances that was saved cleanly. That slightly sloppy football. Oh my word! Now that certainly wasn't football. The referee says it's all right. He's happy with how things proceeded and he wants play to carry on. Erubedia was knocked off his feet there.
Well, I'll tell you why the referee allowed play on. Erubedia has been trying that time and again, even when they got the free kick in the central midfield region and when they got the free kick outside the box. Both times he went and talked to the referee, why are you not showing cards? It is his job, as we say time and again. And Erubedia here as well, even though he was being pushed by Chenrabi, it was somewhat him pulling him down. And every time he'll get an opportunity, he just likes to do that. He likes those bit of actions off the ball as well, even though he has plenty of quality on the ball. We have to see that incident again, but this will just get things heated up. And we have seen this venue seeing red cards a lot of times before. We hence do not want to see early cards. And it's again Jeremy who's involved. Erubedia, I'm sure, has being the guilty party here.
I think there's also a very heated discussion going amongst the officials and the match referees. Also, Ishfaq Ahmed himself was shown a card earlier in this tournament. So I think he'll also have to be careful. He will not like to take another card for himself. It speaks volumes about him, because at the end of the day, it's understandable that you're someone who's very passionate, you're someone who's very animated as well, but that should not come at the cost of your team losing a coach for one particular match. A free kick now in favor of Real Kashmir here. Carlos Lomba with the free kick. Krizo will certainly be the target man, but Krizo is being marked ferociously by the defenders. He is not being allowed to breathe as well. Let's see. Where does this free kick go? Can Gokulam Kerala stall off another Kashmiri invasion? It's drilled flat enough, and that will elude everyone and go out for a goal kick.
Well, on both sides of the pitch, a similar looking free kick from different areas, of course, wasted. And Gokulam can start from the back at Devansh. He will be confident with the few touches he's got early on. One thing to notice, 8 matches in already for both these teams, and Real Kashmir, they have the best defense to be honest, especially if you talk about stats. They've conceded only 4 goals in the 8 matches. But the problem is, one on the lighter note, the one goal they've conceded amongst those 4 is against Namdhari, and that's the problem they have away from home. That was an away match for Royal Kashmir, but right now it is their home game and they would want to keep their 5th clean sheet in a row.
Well, Real Kashmir, every time they've stepped out of their home, that is where a flurry of challenges have arrived. Somehow or the other, the moment the team steps out of Kashmir, they lose that coordination. Let's just hope that it doesn't really happen this time, because it's not always about losing coordination, but at the same time you end up losing a lot of momentum. So when the momentum goes away from you, that is where the challenge begins. And now a long chase here for Gokulam Kerala. It looked like it was Sentinel S once again on the run. He's been a pretty active figure, kind of a live wire in the Gokulam Echelons throughout this tournament and even in this match. Of course, a lot will rely on Domingo Cabrera as well when it comes to when does he actually introduce the big man, Alejandro Sanchez. He's even got the likes of Nufal PN, who's been sensational in this tournament so far. So let's see, with these substitutions on the bench, when does he actually decide that it's time that these 2 players will be out in the center, even though Real Kashmir looks pretty solid at the moment as they come from the left.
Krizo trying to combine, and it seems like Jeremy has beaten the offside trap, has he? And the save is made by Devansh. It seemed like for a moment Jeremy was offside, but he wasn't, and the chance goes begging, and a real opening, a mistake from the defense, and a good save from Devansh Dabash, narrowing the angle coming out of his lines.
I think that shot had all the questions on top of that, because ideally when you're on a one-on-one situation, you either go for a chip or you try and be cheeky, try and send it below the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he gave the ball favorable height that got it easy for Devansh Tabas. Another corner floating into the mix, and before it reaches Krizo, Gokulam Kerala's defense is resilient, resolute and vigilant as it goes out for another throw-in in favor of the Snow Leopards.
It's the captain who will take the throw, Muhammad Hamad. He's looking long always. He has Issa in the box, Carlos Lomba and Krizo as well. Asrar Rahbat too. He's the near post. Krizo doesn't get a touch. Komron will clear it out for the time being, but Real Kashmir will continue attack. Tion launches it long. Well, Ishfaq Ahmed has surely sent this instruction to Real Kashmir players. Try this cross in the box with that amount of curl. Almost every player at this top level has that in their bag, mostly I would say. And Ishfaq Ahmed as a coach has just guided it, given the right direction to that quality of these players to find that pass, which hasn't really breached the Gokulam defense, who themselves have looked strong. Gokulam are also known for their strong defense, even though this season has been a different story. Sentinel, meanwhile,
coming in all the way from the left again, knocking on the doors, Gokulam Kerala. They are slowly growing in confidence, and they can very well challenge the supremacy of the Snow Leopards in their own den. I think it's a matter of the first goal. Whichever team gets the first goal will certainly have an upper hand. At the moment, if we take a look at the statistics, obviously Real Kashmir will be leading them, considering the fact this is their home game and they are a team that has time and time again proving themselves to be an absolute juggernaut when it comes to the TRC football turf. But the question is if Gokulam can fend off the Kashmiri attacks at least until half time. Then once they come out of the breather, it's going to be interesting to see how they start faring forward. The ball has gone all the way back to Mohit Shabir. He hasn't really been tested too many times, just that once when Komron Tusunov went forward with that sneaky free kick, but then he did a decent job.
Well, Real Kashmir, they do look comfortable, but they would love a goal first. They're looking for that. They again move forward. Back with Gokulam. Oh, well, not really. It is a throw-in for Real Kashmir from the back line. Shaheen. He's been solid in his combination with Carlos Lomba and Issa to link with the midfield, and then moving forward to the wingers and the striker. Combination is important in a team, and Real Kashmir have got that. But you mentioned Alex Sanchez on the bench and no fall. Two more of them I would add on 3 more of them rather. Shijin is also there, along with that Lily Perdomo and Boba Amino. Both of them are on the bench, and another chance opening up. Inam is there. He just tries to poke it towards Asrar Rabar. And again, the defense of Gokulam is alert.
Well, I think I must have missed out Nelly Perdomo by some misfortune, because how could I? Nelly Perdomo has also been a very crucial figure in the Gokulam Kerala lineup, and if Nelly Perdomo, Alejandro Sanchez, both of them combined alongside Edo Bidia, it can very well be catastrophic for Real Kashmir unless they are finding that opening goal. So Real Kashmir now comes in from the left. Once again, it's the same man. Here comes the cross. Goal scoring chance. A bit of space ahead of him. But kudos to the defender there. The way he crowded him over. It was Mohammad Asrar Rebar with the chance. But sensational defending here from Gokulam Kerala. Almost casting a wall ahead of the Snow Leopards.
It was Shahif with the block there for Asrar Rebar's attempt, but Asrar Rebar could have tried to take it to his left instead of going to the right hand side, but he has the attacking abilities. Asrar Rebar, we have seen that this season as well. Krizo with the flick, but no willing runners. They're asking a bit too much. Not really in the groove yet, Krizo. And another long baller, that's clever, but will just run off, helped by the turf to go out of play.
Throw in favor of the hosts here. At the moment, Real Kashmir, they have certainly dominated proceedings, but when it comes to the telling blow, that has been missing. And unless that comes in, I don't think we can have a clear favorite, because Gokulam Kerala slowly coming out of their husk. The initial jitters are coming off right now, and they are looking slightly more menacing than initially were. Here is a chance for them as they come knocking on the doors from the right. It was Srikuttan, the skipper, who was trying to make an infringement. Edo Bidia on the ball, a very talented player, and sends it slightly back. Another forward ball, nicely controlled. Edo Bidia still on the ball, but decent defending there from Real Kashmir, as now it's a chance for them to try and carve an attack of their own just before they gave the ball away.
And now Senthimil. Gokulam have the ball back up pretty easily. Abhijit finding Edo Bidia. I was about to say that was a missed pass from Issa in the midfield, but if not for the missed pass, that could have been an attack for Real Kashmir, because Edo Bidia just didn't track back at that point. A little different, and another sloppy giveaway, this time from the opponents. And somehow Jeremy still manages to keep control. Krizo moves forward, has support, and clever pass, but read by the defenders. And the Gokulam player has stayed down in the midfield. Krizo is disappointed. Wasn't a bad idea between the 3 defenders, just trying to find Jeremy again.
Well, since we are already talking extensively about that Gokulam bench, one name about the Real Kashmir bench that I'll certainly look forward to is Mohammad Maqsood, the Lebanese midfielder, who can also deploy himself as a central forward at times, or maybe a withdrawal forward at times. I think he's an extremely versatile player. Now, with that being said, I think I would love to witness how or when the coach likes to bring him on, because I'm pretty sure about the fact if they are unable to score at least in the opening 45 minutes, of course Ishfaq will have a few changes already doing the rounds in their mind. Krizo kind of quizzed, and in fact it's a direct allegation from the player. You are the one who's responsible for me going down. And Krizo says, am I? I don't remember you.
Well, he was just trying to move forward, and there's the 2 head coaches. That's an interesting view here. Ishfaq Ahmed and Domingo Cabrera, both trying to get their plans set well on the pitch and execute them. Edo Bidia having a word with Ishfaq too.
I think what Ishfaq said, that were you fouled? Oh, I didn't tell my players to foul you. I think it's just by circumstances. That was exactly, well, never mind. We were just trying to do lip reading, but Bhashwar, I'm pretty sure we are terribly bad at it.
Well, might be only Ishfaq and Edo Bidia will know what they were talking about. But that foul from Krizo, it was, well, not a foul, that knock which the Gokulam player took. We'll talk about that after this attack again. Easy for the keeper. Too close to him. Away from Krizo. But the foul which was being talked about, which is not given, it was because Krizo was just trying to move forward and create an attack and not really go and clash and foul the player, which he was complaining about.
Well, I will have for me to be honest at the moment, we all know that Gokulam Kerala, they have a very strong defensive unit. The likes of Vikas, the likes of Salam Ranjan Singh, Abdul Hakku, they have dovetailed perfectly in this tournament. So if they are if Real Kashmir is trying to beat them with long balls just because they have a towering Krizo in their excellence, I don't think that's a very wise decision. Maybe and just maybe they'll have to figure out a different alternative. And at the moment though, here was a chance, and in fact it's taken a deflection along the way as Shrikuttan has won a corner for the Malabarians. This can be a chance. That's the first corner of the morning for Gokulam Kerala. Let's see if they can use that to the fullest extent.
Well, not really habituated saying morning in the I-League, but here we are. A very interesting fixture as well. A good game so far, and we're enjoying it to say the least. And Edupatia will swing it inwards towards the keeper. And Gokulam, if they strike, they will have a major upper hand. It's difficult to score against Kashmir in Kashmir. And if they can, the TRC football stadium, and they do not have the home crowd advantage today. They are missing from the stadium because it is being played in closed doors. And now the corner towards goal, side netting, a bit too ambitious. Edubidia.
Yeah, I just wanted to go for that Olympico. Again, we have seen Edubidia kind of pulling off crazy antics. Look at the ball possession there, 59 for Real Kashmir, 41 for Gokulam Kerala, with time and time again Real Kashmir is growing in the game as well. But again, it all boils down to how they'll finish things off, because unless they have a goal for themselves, I don't think numbers would actually met out justice to the kind of football that even Gokulam Kerala has knitted. That was a poor ball and comfortably taken care of by the Malabarians. And this can be problem. Devansh Dabash has gone down. Krizo has found the back of the net. Poor goalkeeping there. Just while we were talking about finding that opening goal, Devansh Dabas has lent a helping hand to the Snow Leopards.
Well, we thought that this Gokulam defense is back where they are known to be, strong and solid, but a moment of concentration lapse from the keeper, and there you see the punishment from Krizo, and with his caliber in the box, he would really miss such a gift. And he has taken that present from Gokulam to just somewhat decide the future of Real Kashmir in the league table. Still a long time to be played, but that will give them the upper hand in the game.
I think we won't be able to figure out the magnitude of the error from that angle which we saw in the replay. Maybe if we just replay it slightly backwards, then it will tell us, because the ball was clearly in the hands of Devansh Dabas. It didn't pop out. It's just that he couldn't control the ball, and Krizo, being Krizo, the apex predator, he just sniffed out that there is a possibility that the ball may spill out for a split second, and that is exactly what happened. And then that ball went into the back of the net. Oh, this would have been a crazy goal had that been on target. I mean, they certainly did spot, Edubidia was the man, he did spot Muhit Shabir way out of his line and wanted to go for a shot right from the center line. But then with that being said, he will have to put things on target, at least in the frame of the goal. But for the moment, it doesn't really look like.
Well, if this is the way they had to get the opening goal, there's no better scenario for Real Kashmir. And Krizo once again on the score sheet. Real Kashmir on the lead, half an hour into the game, a bit remaining in the first half. But Real Kashmir now would like to increase their lead. And the way things are going, with that one goal in their mind and with some positivity being induced with that goal, Real Kashmir can very well take the game away. Clever chested pass forward, and they will have it back. Mohamed Inam playing somewhat a free role in the midfield, where he's dropping down that central midfield zone, and Jeremy from the center is moving to right left. And that is the interesting part about Real Kashmir's attacks and formation. time and again have to give credits to Ishfaq Ahmed. Often talk about foreign coaches and so much experience they bring, but this man, the son of the soil, Ishfaq Ahmed, doing some good work with his local team, and that is run out of play, but a good move was being constructed by Real Kashmir.
You're talking about the foreign coaches, but to be honest, the Indian coaches have also been putting up a fight in this year's I-League. Yesterday we saw how Nandakumar Singh was out there. He guided Rao FC to their first win of the tournament. Of course, they've had their downfalls quite a significant number of times. If we also look at Bobby Nongbet, he's been another central figure in terms of Indian coaches. So yes, it has been a nice mix and match, and it's always very promising signs for Indian football as well. Ed Obedia with the free kick. Let's see if he can get Gokulam Kerala back in the hunt. Komran Tusunov has been kept silent today. In fact, Gokulam Kerala hasn't really gone out looking for goals. They have been busy defending. Here's an opportunity though, and Gokulam Kerala will have the ball at their feet. Komran just around the ball there, but eventually he was being circled around by a flurry of defenders. Here's another long ball. This can be a chance. Brilliant opportunity, but then again a very emaciated header floating in from the head of Centamil as it goes straight into the hands of Mohit Shabir.
Well, that is one of the reasons why I was praising highly of Centamil. Just gets in between the defenders. The cross was, of course, brilliant to say the least, but the way he gets the header, generates the power, wasn't too bad an attempt. But the keeper was right there, Mohit Shabir, to control it. And again, Krizo applying the pressure. Devansh looks a bit nervous. He's done well in the first 25-30 minutes, but after that, just at the 30th minute mark, that loss of concentration, a little poor. And I'm bound to say, I do not want to actually say it, but I'm bound to say, to be honest, I do not understand. Of course, Domingo Cabrera knows his players and the 11 he chooses, but I'm not sure why a player with experience like Avilash Paul and Bishorjeet Singh do not get a nudge ahead. We understand this is a long league and they will get their chances when needed, and maybe it suits the strategy of the head coach, but just a question forward maybe.
No, I kind of agree with you in this one. Even the likes of Nofal Bien, I mean, he's been electric on the wings. So maybe, and just maybe, I think he certainly has his strategy, which is kind of not visible to our eyes. But then again, with that being said, he's also a very experienced man. Maybe he's just trying to keep things for the latter half of the game. Gokulam Kerala comes knocking on the doors. That's a decent bit of run, but a slightly heavy second touch. And this looks like it has eluded everyone as Krizo goes down on the ground, rolling. Very rarely will you see that. A man of such towering stature, it's very difficult to bring him down when it comes to like just an open play. That's the second foul committed by Gokulam Kerala.
That's what happened in that goalkeeping error actually. Just not an error, it was a Krizo being too physical and Devansh just not being able to stand that challenge, just falling weak against the all experienced Krizo.
Well, the Ivorian certainly has got some tremendous power, and it's not just his power. In fact, one of our co-commentators who's not here today, Shatadru, he's had the privilege of playing against Krizo. So he told us a tale of how he would never dare to do that again, at least in for the time being. But here comes Gokulam Kerala. Komran Tusunov, he's certainly a mystery that will need some cracking. But for today, he hasn't really received the ball too many times. He hasn't been that active. And that is where Real Kashmir, that's a long ball. Can they keep that in play? But by the time Shrikuttan could reach it, that went out of play.
Difficult, especially in these conditions and this kind of a pitch. The turf just helps the ball on its way, has that pace generated, and Real Kashmir will have the ball back. Real Kashmir have not been beaten in the last 4 matches, but same is the story for Gokulam in the last 3 matches. But the problem is all 3 of those have been draws and they haven't won 4 continuous games here, and no clean sheet as well, which continues to be the case. But in all those games they have managed to score, but well, rather they have scored in all 5 of their last games. And They will look to beat this Kashmir defense too. And foul, is it?
Yeah, it looks like a foul has been given as Abhijit kind of just clutches onto his ankle. I think while he was trying to do that step over, while he was trying to get the ball away from Real Kashmir, he was being clipped there. And it's going to be Ed Obedia once again, the supplier. He is the feeder of those free kicks and the set piece that allows Gokulam Kerala to express themselves wonderfully. And we can see Komran Tursunov once again, but with this range, which is slightly farther away from the last one, yes, Komran now heads back because that is certainly not Komran's range. This has to be Ed Obedia's one of those turners, those launches into the box from which they can produce an important header.
Well, you saw the signal there on that right hand. Ed Obedia delicately lobs it forward, and the header is off target from Vikas. The tallest, one of the tallest in the box. Wasn't a bad free kick. The end result is not what they were looking for, and they need to hit the target. They need to test Mohit Shabir to get a goal.
A lovely flick into the box, kind of a free header there, if truth be told, because Carlos Lomba, he had no idea what he was doing. He was certainly not marking Vikas. So maybe if the header could have been in place, that would have been a test for Mohit Shabir. But luckily for him, I think it was a poor header, to be honest. He got underneath the header, so the ball took an upward curve. And now before Gokulam Kerala, another free kick falling Gokulam Kerala's way. I think Real Kashmir is just mucking up things ever so slightly. Here's a chance for Gokulam Kerala to try and launch another one into the box. Another opportunity, and it's going to be Ed Obedia leading the show here.
Well, it's another chance for the Spaniard to deliver quality in the box. And Ed Obedia is again ready to help Gokulam back. Another free kick and headed out by that strong wall. And now Komran Tursunov, well controlled by Abhijit. Trying to find a pass and cleared away from the Real Kashmir defense. And now Krizo, he's being pulled, and that'll surely be a yellow card. And he knows what it is. Takes one for the team there, Muhammad Shahif, and just stops Krizo. And he wants more than a yellow, Krizo, because he thought it was the last man. Debatable, but a yellow card comes out on a free kick, and Gokulam survive. If that went through, and look at that again. Or just pulled his hand from behind. He knew he was the culprit there. But a free kick now for Real Kashmir. It seems to be Carlos Lomba who will be taking it.
Carlos Lomba certainly has been active today. Like when I say active, what I mean is that he's being indulged in creating those attacks, in carving those opportunities. But with that taken into consideration, he is there to score goals. That is his major role. He is an out-and-out striker who can definitely slot into the midfield. There's another long ball. A glancing header attempted but denied as well, as Gokulam Kerala looks around for a bit of space, and Real Kashmir has just given the ball away. That's sent forward, but that was miscued. It took a deflection along the way, I reckon. Yes, it did.
Well, it took a deflection, and Gokulam from the throw-in will look to move up again. Vikas turning and controlling. Back with Real Kashmir. Carlos Lomba. Inam just tried to cushion back to him. And Real Kashmir to win the ball back with such ease and grace, and now can move forward with Issa. Down the right, haven't seen too much of Wayne Vaz in attack, and now he finally arrives. There was a nudge, and Inam continues the run. 3 red shirts watching him closely, maroon to be precise. And now Wayne Vaz delivers across. Devansh again collides with Krizo, but this time is not ready to give up possession.
You know, I kind of find Krizo is like one of those big friendly giants waiting out there at the other end. I'm pretty sure when the goalkeeper collided with him, he must have told him a hi, I am waiting, maybe and just maybe. But once again, knowing Devansh Tabas, to be very honest, he's an excellent goalkeeper. Again, when it comes to one chances, like just 1 or 2 misses cannot define a goalkeeper. This can be a lovely chance for the Malabarians, but excellent goalkeeping and brilliant covering there by Faisal. Kind of fended off, kind of staved away the Gokulam Kerala attack this time. But what an opportunity for the Malabarians. The visitors are knocking on the doors, even though in isolated bursts. But yes, the knocks are clear now.
Well, indeed, that's good goalkeeping and good covering from the defender. And well, Wayne Vaza, in fact, has been most of the times in attack. A little correction. It's Asra Rabar, whom I was missing down the right-hand side, who's been very impressive. There he is with the number 10 on his back up front, but Wayne Vaza with the throw now. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, with additional few to come after that. A good game so far, but Royal Kashmir, just like they want to go with business, and they have done so. They have not conceded. They've got that solid free goal with Krizo, and they now will look to increase the lead, but more importantly, not concede anymore. That's a delightful ball in, just behind the defenders. Read well by Vikas, who just shielded and didn't let his marker run off.
Well, I certainly would have been more intrigued by it if Krizo would have been standing there. Because ideally what happens is, even when the psychological aspect, because since you have been beaten once by Krizo, particularly by his physical stature, the question is, will Devans still go for it, considering the fact that Krizo can knock him out of his perch? Literally, because again, when it comes to physical power, see, football being a body contact game, your physique is important. So if you have someone of Krizo's stature who uses that to perfection without causing too much trouble, I think that's an asset. That's an absolute asset to any side that Krizo plays for. Wayne Vaz, once again, we were talking about him, he's everywhere.
Well, that raises a question as well when you said about Krizo being in that position. With that physicality, and if Devansh will try again to go and have a one-on-one clash with him. But then, why not Boba Aminu? We do not know the internal stories. There are weather conditions, there's travel and stuff to deal with as well, and that pass will run out of play. But there's a lot of headaches for the head coach to deal with, which is easy for us to say. But then, just a question then, why not Boba Aminu, who has been so strong and tall at the back for Gokulam, has been leading the Gokulam side too in the previous seasons. He's one of the favorite candidates who can stop Krizo.
I think I will have to take, or I'll have to lend support from another sport in order to explain you this entire analogy, or maybe just share my perspective. Oh, that was a lovely ball. That was definitely a lovely ball. And Devansh Dabas, he's seriously under the pump. I think it happens. It's just one of those days where nothing is going right. At times, it has to be tricky as well. There's another long cross for Gokulam Kerala. I think it's a bit too long. And despite him trying to keep that 2 minutes of additional time given. And yes, getting back to the question that you asked, that why not Boba Amino, and in fact he is strong and tall. Now the reference is at times when the coaches decide that they have a certain strategy, they have a certain plan in mind, because you have to try and understand, for Gokulam Kerala, this is not one of the natural games. This is not one of the free-flowing games, because it is not just stepping into your opposition's home, but you are stepping into a condition, into a place where the conditions are overwhelmingly against you, and it impacts you not just mentally but physically as well. So you have to be smart. You cannot just use all your players, all your best players at one go. You have to make the alterations. Maybe in the second half, once Gokulam Kerala comes out, this can be another good chance for Real Kashmir. But Gokulam Kerala will trade it away for a corner. I'll quickly finish. I'll let you speak. I can understand you're waiting for a long time. But yeah, so given the fact that they still have the likes of Boba Amino, Neely Perdomo and Alejandro Sanchez, who's a very good crop-up player, I think it will be better for them if they are being asked to deliver for 45 minutes instead of delivering the entire 90 minutes.
Well, that is a very good point, Rohit, and I was very interested to listen to you as well. We'll talk about that again after this corner delivered, and not sure if we'll have enough time in this half, because the 2 minutes additional time is almost completed, and there it is, the half-time whistle. It is 1-0 in favor of the home side, and we'll wait to find out if what you said comes out to be true, and that's very interesting a strategy if Gokulam manage to use that. The weather conditions, the pitch conditions, everything in mind in the den of Real Kashmir, the den of the Snow Leopards. It is 1-0 at halftime. 56% possession for Real Kashmir, Gokulam with 44. 5 shots from Real Kashmir to 4 from Gokulam. One more on target from Royal Kashmir, which is 3, and 2 from Gokulam. A few fouls, only 1 yellow card. 4 corners for Royal Kashmir to just 1 for Gokulam shows that the home side is very well in this game. And what I was saying is the substitutes, as you mentioned, if we can see Alex Sanchez and Popa Aminu and Nili Perdomo in the second half, that'll make it more and more interesting. 5 shots from Royal Kashmir, Jeremy with 2 of them, Krizo, Hamad and Enam with 1 each. And that one from Krizo was where they took the lead. It was a defensive error. The goalkeeper falling a little weak physically. And 4 shots from Gokulam, Edu Bhatia with 1. Haku, Komron, Tusunov and Sentimil with 1 attempt each. Sentimil's header and Komron's free kick was the closest they came to scoring.
Well, that's a foul so far for Real Kashmir. 7 fouls in all. Ashrar, Rebar, Shaheen with a couple of them each. Carlos Lomba, Dion Menezes and Krizo had 1 foul each. And now quickly having an eye on what Gokulam Kerala had in terms of fouls. Is 5 of them. Hakku with a couple of them. Erubidia, Rishad and Shahif with 1 foul each.
Well, we'll have a look at the highlights of the first half right after this. And this is such a pretty looking scenario, the scenery behind the stadium. Even the other side, if you look, have a chance to visit this very stadium, you'll see how beautiful it is to watch and play a game of football. And there was the first chance, and then this free kick from Komron Tusunov, just testing and making sure Mohit Shabir is awake and alert in today's game, which he was. And Jeremy's attempt was saved by Devansh, which made me think if the goalkeeper was having a good day or going to have a good day, but the answer was here with this Krizo goal. A mistake punished, and Sentimil's header on target, but not to beat Mohit Shabir. And a few more attempts here and there. But that's all for the first 45 minutes. Gokulam will still try and come out to test Royal Kashmir, but Royal Kashmir will want another clean sheet and 3 more points at half time. It's Royal Kashmir 1, Gokulam 0. Stay tuned, we'll be back soon after the break.
We welcome you back for another pulsating 45 minutes of football as Real Kashmir has a 1-0 cushion over Gokulam Kerala. This is going to be another oscillating 45 minutes with both the teams right now trying to bring out their best, but once again taking into consideration the very harsh climate. Also the altitude that the Malabarians have actually tried to come across or actually tried to overcome in the first 45 minutes. I think this is going to be a battle that will go down to the wire. Gokulam Kerala still to effect any changes. We were talking about it in the dying embers of the first half, and Real Kashmir as well are happy to go with an unchanged 11. And it is Komran Tosunov who gets us underway from the right, in fact from the left to the right, and attacking on your frame from the right to the left in their signature yellow are the Snow Leopards, Real Kashmir.
Well, welcome back everyone for another exciting half here in Kashmir, and they would want to increase their lead. And Mohammad Inam, that's a very clever pass straight away, and the shot just off target, and rather Devansh got a touch as well. It is a corner, and he has recovered from the mistakes, it seems, and Asrar Rabar has that quality to find the back of the net, and there's the save.
Well, an early blow here coming all the way from Real Kashmir. Mohammad Inam, that was another lovely ball. The defense was somewhat split apart altogether because Mohammad Shaif, he certainly didn't have any clue whatsoever. Look at the shot. But Devansh, this time he had his eyes on the ball, and now he'll be growing in stature after that save. First, in fact, fifth corner for Real Kashmir FC. At the moment, players on the field, well, with no changes so far. It's the same starting 11. There comes the corner, floated into the mix. Opportunity, Krizo sends it into that central channel, and it looks like Kashmir has just squandered their own opportunity by coming in the way. That's a poorly created long ball. Komran Tosunov is never going to reach that as it goes out for a throw. For Gokulam Kerala, once again an unchanged starting 11 so far. Certainly Komran Tosunov and Edu Bidia, eyes will be on them that how they can go ahead and change things around. But at the moment, the intent, the signs aren't very promising, and that is what may actually lead to the coach, Domingo Cabrera, to bring in a few changes.
That is the discussion where we left at the first half, at the ending of the first half, and here's another chance, but offside involved, and the discussion will continue if Domingo Cabrera has that as a plan in his mind to actually use his bench in the second half, and it will be threatening if these players come on together. Not together, of course, at the same substitution break, but what I mean is play together on the pitch in second half. Real Kashmir, possession.
Well, you never know, they may also come out together as well, with 3 substitutions made at a time, maybe, or maybe a couple of substitutions happening. But once again, all of that is pretty subjective right now. Here's a chance for Real Kashmir as they knock on the doors from the left. There comes a cross, and it takes a deflection of Vikas as it goes out for another corner. That is corner number 6, a half a dozen corner for the Snow Leopards as the Malabarians struggle to keep themselves in check. They're trying their very best, they're trying to keep their best foot forward, but as things stand, it can be tricky. It is going to be once again Jeremy Laldanpuya with that corner as Real Kashmir crowds around in the box, sent into the mix, opportunity. The entire goal was somewhat gaping there. Krizo just took a bit too long to converge upon the chance. Unfortunately, that goes out of play, and it looks like it's going to be a goal kick, but somebody has gone down. Yes, sir. And it looks like it is Eduardo. It's Edu Bidia once again. Yes, it is Edu Bidia, in fact, who needs some treatment.
Well, hopefully he's fine. He's a very key player in this Gokulam setup, and wherever he has been, be it FC Goa or be it right now here in the I-League, he is one of the players the fans at least expect a lot from. That attack from Real Kashmir, post-pegging again, and twice now in just 4 minutes in the second half. Well, Kashmir are knocking the door. They want goals. They want to kill the game before it's too late. They do not want to leave it hanging till the last minutes of the game.
It's going to be a goal kick here for Gokulam Kerala, and I'm sure they will like to launch it forward. Devansh Davas, an early slip up allowed Krizo to find the solitary goal of the match, and it's launched into the mix. Now the ball stays with Gokulam Kerala as they try and move forward. Real Kashmir keeping things away. Here's a chance, Komran Tursunov, but that was a slightly overhit pass. The ball's back once again with Gokulam Kerala, another long ball, and it looks like an interception has happened.
Well, not just an interception, it looks like Nili Pertomo is already on the pitch. And there has been a change at half-time, which we'll wait for further confirmation. I'm not sure if Komran Tursunov has gone off. Not really. We saw him at kickoff, right? It might be a different player who's gone off. But one thing for sure, their number 10 is now on the pitch, Nili Pertomo. And there he is on the set piece straight away.
Well, it was kind of startling for both of us, in fact for all of us. But then again, the coach knows the value of time. And I think that is why Nili is on. Nili drills in a flat free kick there. The chance still stays alive at Gokulam Kerala's feet as they come knocking on the doors from the right. Sends it back to the central channel. Excellent interception. And here comes Gokulam Kerala, but this time they will be denied because a Real Kashmir player has gone down. It looks like it is Issa who's taken the tumble. We'll once again try and show you.
Well, there's the challenge, a little nudge from behind, clipped his ankle. That is why the free kick is awarded. Real Kashmir will try to build up from the back. Well, possibilities about Gokulam finding a win. It is very, very difficult because Real Kashmir do not easily concede at this venue. They do not easily concede anyway, but especially at this venue. They've conceded a total of only 4 goals. Krizo is offside on this occasion as well. There's another foul maybe involved, but right now what I was saying is that Gokulam's chances, it is possible, anything is possible with the quality Gokulam have, but it is difficult, and that is one part of the story. Is that a free kick given? It is a free kick given before the offside was awarded.
Well, I think we finally have the confirmation. Nufal has come in place of Sentamil. Now Sentamil was pretty decent today. Again, Nufal brings in a very good speed, and Edu Bidia has gone out. So I think it happened after that injury that Edu Bidia took, and Nili Pertomo has been brought on. So let's see if these two changes can make a significant bit of difference. Here's another long ball into the box, and Krizo was already rising up top. So yes, chances galore here for Real Kashmir.
Well, it wasn't at the break indeed, as you mentioned right now, in that injury passage where Edu Bidia went down. So Edu Bidia has gone off. He wasn't having a great game, to be honest, compared to his own big standards. With Nili Pertomo will look to take his chances. He scored a while ago against Shillong Lechong, and he would want to repeat that in the mountains, the heights of Kashmir.
Well, Nili Pertomo, I think now with Edu Bidia back in the heart, Nili Pertomo will have to play a much more central role. He'll have to dictate that attacking unit. He'll need to be the architect, the conductor of the entire symphony that Gokulam Kerala can knit together. But Real Kashmir, the kind of physical football that they have played, and we know that they are capable of conducting themselves properly, no matter the conditions. I think it's going to be an uphill task for the visitors here.
Well, it is going to be an uphill task, and it was always known from the start of the game, or rather before the start of the game, but you cannot write them off. That is another thing as well, which makes this league and this match more interesting. And there's a pass towards Nili, but Issa takes the workload. Free kick. Is it? Or is it just a throw-in went out of play probably? We'll have to wait to find out. As per the camera angle is concerned, it seems like a free kick in favor of Gokulam, but Asa does not agree, and nearly again doing the role of the player he has been brought in for.
Well, Nili Perdomo, another Spaniard plying his trade in India. A quick question to you, Bhashwar. I'll get back to that question once this free kick is taken, because I think even a lot of our viewers will have that question. That was quickly taken though. Now the ball is at Nili Perdomo's feet as Gokulam Kerala comes in from the right. There's a lovely cross, but well defended. It's back with Nili Perdomo once again as Gokulam Kerala doesn't want to give up. There comes another cheeky cross and well defended. Danger still not over as Gokulam Kerala keeps on knocking on the doors. Nili on the ball once again, but finally has been divested of possession. Now coming back to the quick question. The Spanish wave has taken over Indian football of late, at least in the last 4 to 5 years, isn't it? And how good do you think has this transition been from the African and the Brazilian wave?
Well, it has been a major change, and the difference is in technicality and the way they play, the passing style of football, like we are habituated to see in Barcelona and Spain, even Real Madrid, but more Barcelona because the tiki-taka, as we call it, that passing style. That is why they are brought in, and not just recently, since a good while, but in today's match as well. There is a few. Everybody went off, and the entire, not the entire, but Nili Perdomo is Spaniard as well. Alex Sanchez is on the bench, yet to come on. But right now, Kashmir in attack will continue the discussion. Jeremy felt a nudge, and that is a free kick in almost a similar zone where Gokulam earned a free kick in the first half. And just before I get the mic over to you, just to continue with the Spanish qualities, there's the nudge from behind. And this one, the second one, was more what gave away the free kick. And not just those passes, the silky touches and the technique and the development as well. They not just bring quality themselves, but help the players around them grow, because you have to adapt to that style of play. You have to adapt to their way of playing, and that just helps the players playing with them.
Well, you talked about silk coating a certain Ray Hudson. The Spaniards arriving here are certainly silk, or in fact daggers wrapped in silk. However, this is a free kick, a chance for Real Kashmir to probably drive the dagger through the hearts of the visitor. And who else than Carlos Lomba from Portugal. We know Portuguese, a certain Portuguese have romanticized the art of free kicks. He takes that, but Devansh Dabas, he is certainly living dangerously. He's kind of on the precipice there. Almost let the ball slip through his hands.
Well, almost a replay of that Comron 2 snub free kick from a similar zone, a different color, a different side attacking, but the outcome is the same. The idea was same as well, and that's a giveaway. Comron 2 Sunafa to Nili Perdomo. He has in support down the left-hand side come Gokulam, but too close to the keeper Mohit Shabir, who has been doing some good work. And that's a pretty long throw. That is very long indeed. And Gokulam have it back. And no fall. Straight away involved in a few attacks here.
You know, Bhashwar, a quick, if we take a look at how both these sides used to be in the early 2017s and 18s. So I think both of them have gone through a major transition. Real Kashmir, when they were under the likes of the Robertsons, they had a pretty, I won't say physical, but they had a pretty imposing style of football. But now it's about coming forward in attacks. That's another lovely chance. Devansh Dabas, oh my word, what a howler! He is just committed, probably the howler of the tournament. I am still quizzed about the fact, how did that go in? Jeremy will certainly take the goal, but that is as easy as it gets for a goalkeeper. Today is definitely not his day, as Real Kashmir surges up 2-0 in this important encounter.
Look at that again. Jeremy with the step over, takes it to his right. And what was Devansh doing and thinking? That is poor to say the least. Just lost his concentration. The bounce, no proper glove on it. Just slips its way in. And the reaction from the Real Kashmir bench sums it up. But then again raises questions. Not trying to demean a player, but then with due respect, why not the likes of Avilash Paul and Bishorjit Singh? I understand some teams even do not have the luxury to have such quality on the bench, but when Gokulam have it, why not maybe test them sometimes? I've seen this time and again with Gokulam, but well, as you answered this question, that the coach knows exactly what he's doing and there's more going behind it. And that is what it is, and that is why the lineup is this way. And another chance. Meanwhile, Frizo is offside again.
Yeah, what you just said about the coach knows what he's doing, of course he does, but the substitutions that we talked about earlier in the first half, I think they are on-field substitutions. You don't make goalkeeping substitutions there. 57% ball possession, 43 for Gokulam, 57 for Real Kashmir. I think certainly it has been the crux of Real Kashmir's attack. And now Gokulam just trying to make way from the right. Let's see if they can latch onto it. Here comes a cross. Goal scoring chance. Komron Tusunov did latch onto the ball. He'll need some support, and it looks like the free kick has gone the other way. Yes, I think the flag's actually gone up, so that's an offside. So another sigh of reprieve there for Real Kashmir.
Well, another reason for the sigh of relief is that Komron Tusunov, he's just growing into the game and just showing intent. He doesn't like his team to stay behind and he wants to step up. We saw a while ago his team were 2 down and he came on as a change to try and be the difference between the two sides. Equalized as well from a long range attempt. It was against Namdhari, I believe, in that match. We were together in that game, Rohit, and what an exciting match that was to Namdhari, scoring 2. A rare occasion this season, with Gokulam fighting back. They can fight back, they need to initiate things quickly, and in this Snow Leopards 10, you generally wouldn't even dare of a comeback.
Well, if we take a look on the sidelines, I think a couple of Gokulam Kerala players, in fact, apologies, are getting ready to come out and take the yard by storm. I think now the changes will come into play, and it is going to be very, very important of how they introduce, how they make this chemistry work out. Still no signs of Alejandro Sanchez making it into the mix. With goals needed, I would certainly be preferring Alejandro to take the field. So obviously, with that being said, well, it is going to be interesting to see how Domingo Cabrera makes the mix and match. But now here's a free kick for Carlos Lomba, and Real Kashmir will have another springboard where they can launch the ball into the box. It looks like it's Ramdina who's lining up, and with him, in fact, there's another long free kick, but that eludes everyone. That could have been a better chance, and it's in fact not Ramdina. In fact, Buba Amino is lining up, and Shujin T as well.
Well, you mentioned them, and they are getting ready indeed. They are the very likely options, of course. That is why we named them. And 7 corners for Real Kashmir, just 1 for Gokulam. I have a stat update for you after this corner kick. We'll wait to find out who takes it. There are 2 players in, and tell you what, Carlos Lomba is creating some chaos inside the box. And here's Inam, squares it, and a lob ball forward. The defense hasn't dealt with it, but the attack hasn't seen that coming too. But coming to the stat update, Real Kashmir have conceded in only 2 of the 8 matches they have played. The 4 goals have been distributed in such a way. 3 of the goals coming in this venue, which is very difficult for an away side to do. It was Churchill Brothers. But the problem is Real Kashmir were down to 10 men. They got a red card, and here's an attack opening up. He thought for a shot from distance, but the attack is still on. A lob towards Krizo, and still inside the box, cushioned back, but not sure if he can deal with it. Another error. It's 3 for Real Kashmir, and Krizo and Real Kashmir will take this game away and away from Gokulam with such errors.
startled. I am speechless. Third goal, and that too due to a goalkeeping error. I mean, come on, it's understandable. You have one error, you have one slip up, but third consecutive goal in Krizo, once again poaching right in front of the goal. Knew his straight. Look at this one. That was going to be straightforward. No communication between the defender and the goalkeeper. This time, actually, it's not entirely the fault of Devansh Dabas. It was going away from him. I think he should have just allowed the defender out there to clear the lines. I have no idea why did he go for it. And I think there needs to be a communication between the defender as well. I'm pretty sure Vikas must not have communicated in that case. As a result, Devansh didn't want to take a risk. And, well, they paid a very heavy price.
Well, they have that to compensate for that. They're bringing in a change, and the one sacrificed is the orchestrator, Komron Tusunov. That is another surprising change, but Boba Minu is on to restrict some damage, but not sure what more damage is left to be done here. Rohit, it's already 3-0 in favor of Real Kashmir. And one more thing which just came in my mind, we questioned, there's the confirmation of the change. Meanwhile, Komron Tusunov is off, Shijin T is on, and along with him, Popa Minu. It'll of course be a foreigner for a foreigner, but then that's how the changes were made, two changes together. But we were talking about goalkeeping errors and why not other goalkeepers, but at the same time, another thing which comes to mind is the conditions here. It's freezing cold. As a goalkeeper, you need to use your hands. Of course, that is not an excuse to concede such goals, but that is why this makes it so difficult. And there's an art when you're a professional player at this level, you need to adapt to such conditions. And that just differentiates between a good player and an expert or an excellent player.
Yeah, I think that is very true. Again, I understand that maybe it's just not those days. It's just one of those days where Devansh Dabas is having an off day in office. Happens. Believe me, we all are humans. Things like these happen. Excellent body shielding. Gokulam Kerala still trying to find a way through, but unfortunately, Nofal will not have the last laugh in this case as the ball went out. So I think I also empathize with Devansh Dabas. But again, when it comes to a top tier match like this, and particularly where a victory can launch you in the top tier, in the top list of teams, I think it is very, very crucial that you try and minimize the mistake. That is important. Nonetheless, and now the ball is with Real Kashmir. In fact, a free kick is gonna go in favor of Gokulam Kerala here. I'm pretty sure Gokulam Kerala's coach Domingo Cabrera will like to have something from this game, at least a couple of goals if his team is able to score before that 85th minute. Maybe and just maybe the game will very much be on. But right now, in the second half particularly, I think they have been outplayed.
Well, they have been, but they'll still hope with 23 minutes remaining. And Nilipatomo, if he can try and bring Gokulam back. Oh, that attempt took a touch of a defender. A corner is awarded. And we were talking about all those Spanish talents in the country. And when we talk about Spain, a rivalry arises. And that rival on the pitch is Carlos Lomba, the Portuguese, the representative of that rivalry rather. And Spain and Portugal rivalry is one not much talked about, but then very, very interesting one. Corner kick, another attempt from Nili Perdomo. Oh, not well collected there. And a chance for Gokulam maybe. Cleared away desperately by Shahir Shaheen. And now from distance he was thinking of a shot. Switched wide to Nili.
Well, what I'm not sure about, is it a marked red letter day for goalkeepers? Nili Perdomo goes for a side volley, but that certainly didn't have the kind of venom you'd have wanted for that shot. That is the 6th shot taken by Gokulam Kerala, because even Devansh Dabas, we certainly have seen what he's done. But at the other end as well, it's just that Mohit Shabir hasn't been tested that frequently. If he would have been, maybe and just maybe, it would have been an entirely different landscape. And it looks like Gokulam Kerala will have a lot of work to do. And the coach, he's already there pacing on the sidelines, knows exactly that his team, if not logging those 3 points, at least maybe try and push for that solitary point, which still looks to be a dream finish for Gokulam, at least from this juncture. But once again, football being a very unpredictable, being a very dicey game, you never know what happens unless that final whistle is blown. And Real Kashmir on the ball, slightly scrappy now, the ball pinballing of too many feet at the moment, and eventually it's Nili Padomo who has the last laugh as he has the possession at his feet, but he's given that away as well.
Well, back with Real Kashmir then, just changing sides quickly, the possession, and Carlos Lomba expertly done again to control the ball, and he's moving forward, feeling a pull and a nudge, and earns a free kick, not ready to give up. The last time I watched this man play in the midfield of Real Kashmir, especially with that hairstyle of his and the way he plays in the central midfield, somewhat often reminds of Ruben Neves of Portugal as well. But then that's a similarity of looks, but Real Kashmir will hope he can bring on that quality on pitch as well, which he has done often, and he's doing it today as well, the hard defensive work and sometimes in attack. But some people around the country, not some, many, are discussing about the chances of who will qualify to the Indian Super League and gain promotion from the I-League. But if we have a look at the league table right now, yes, after yesterday's clash, it got even more interesting. If Shillong Lechong could have got a win last day, they would have gone to 19 points, just one less behind Mohammedan, but that was not to be the story. It was Aizawl who got points, and they have 17 points, and with today's win, Real Kashmir will have 17 points if the scoreline remains this way, and there's Srinidhi on 17 points, so that second, third and fourth, all the teams have 17 points each, and then just behind is Lechong, who are just 1 point behind them with 16. So it's an open gateway for everyone in that top 5-6 zone. One match here and there and things can change.
Believe me, Bashwar, it always has been like that. I mean, I-League has been one of the most competitive leagues that India has seen, and there's no questions about that. We have seen the tournament going on till that last day. It's like as if the last day decides the fate of the champions. Krizo looking around, this time the pass going slightly wider, but Real Kashmir has got reinforcements steaming in from the far right, and they would look around for a cross. Here comes the cross. Krizo at the far post this time though. Wanted to go forward with a header towards that near post this time. Near post. And Devansh Davas, despite a dive, he was again beaten. It's just that Krizo wasn't on target.
Well, Krizo for a moment thought wherever he hits it, if it's on target, it's going in. And that's why he just tried to cushion it to that near post just in front of the keeper. Devansh had it covered this time, but it was the side netting from Krizo. Another thing to note is that Real Kashmir haven't got in the substitutes yet. You mentioned Lebanese in the first half of Mohammad Maqsood. He will probably be coming on late in the game. And along with that, there is Ramdina as well, who has been impressive, and Adnan Ayub. They have the likes of Atib Ahmeddar as well. All of them. And the most impressive thing about Real Kashmir, they focus on local talents. Cheeky back flick from Inam. That's beautifully done. And now from the right, it is the number 10 for Real Kashmir, just combining with Wayne Vasa, not coming off well eventually. Oh, it was Inam rather, combining with Asrar Webber on that right hand side. That passage of play that looked to be promising, but the end product wasn't there.
Free kick in favor of Gokulam Kerala. While you're talking about the substitutes for Real Kashmir, I think the kind of urgency that they would have had to make the substitutions would have been a lot more if they would have just had a solitary goal cushion. But now that they have got 3 in their favor, I think they can comfortably make the substitutions. Well, definitely to bring in a tactical spectrum, but also to steal away a few crucial seconds. Krizo just trying to sneak a ball through the boots there of Gokulam Kerala, but he was not successful. But the ball's fallen back for Real Kashmir. Here's another long cross. Krizo, that was a gilt-edged chance. All he needed to do was just tap it home, and it looks like it's gone. It's another offside, so that would not have counted. But nonetheless, what an opportunity. Once again, excellent team play there from Real Kashmir.
5 offsides against Real Kashmir shows how much they've tried to go on attack. At the same time, they have to know where the line is. They have to be aware. Even though this has been a performance based on some defensive and goalkeeping errors. That will Kashmir need to create better chances if they want to continue these winning runs forward in the league, especially when they move away from home. That is one difficult place for them. And right now, a goal kicker for Gokulam. Haven't seen too much of build-up play from them. Most of the time, crosses or set pieces. Bobaminu on the ball, launches it long towards almost no one. And Shaheen just trying to test Devansh. Easy?
Yeah, just one of those days, you know, where you can maybe if the ball slips, because again it's like more than the physical aspect, it's psychological aspect, because you start being shaky, then even you start, and once you start doubting yourself, believe me, that is possibly the worst thing that can happen to you during a live match, because then even the most rudimentary act, that proves to be a lot more difficult for you, because you are questioning your ability, whether you will be able to control the ball, whether you'll be able to just carry things on like the way it's supposed to be. And that is why maybe Shaheen just wanted to find out the opening of the net, maybe from distance. And we can see a few fans in the stands as well. So despite the harsh conditions, they have just made their way as well, and a few yellow flags fluttering. Again, good to see that. Obviously very good to see when in the TRC turf we have seen, had it been an open door game, of course the fans would have flocked in numbers, irrespective of the fact that it's a Monday afternoon. Here comes Real Kashmir once again. The captain Mohammad Ahmad didn't really have to do much today. Here's another long ball, lovely ball in fact, too much of space. There comes the cross, could have been better, could have been addressed in a far more clinical manner, but eventually loses possession.
Well, should have been better in fact, but Inam can try and do better. Oh, for a moment I thought he was looking for a goal, and those are the local people just coming in the stadium. A few of them just in the management of Real Kashmir as well, and the ground staff, and there's a substitution coming on probably for Real Kashmir. Well, it's not, it is for Gokulam Kerala, and seems like Srikuttan, who was initially the captain, is being taken off to be replaced by Basit Ahmed Bhatt, who will be looking to impress. Hasn't got too much of game time here. There's plenty of the league to be played, but not enough of this match to be played. Confirmation of the change. Basit is on in place of Srikuttan, and there's pressure being applied. Krizo is there as well. That is good work eventually to avoid those challenges. And now Gokulam will continue the attack though. Mistake from Shaheen. And Shijin on the ball. Nilipatomo can deliver. Looking for options. The safer one, Shijin, likes to drive inside. And look at the way the yellow shirts are crowding him out. But Nilipatomo drives inside the box. And Carlos Lomba. And look at the celebration with every block and save. That's how much it means to them.
Well, obviously, they have been a side that is not going down so easily. Even if Gokulam Kerala will have to find a consolation strike, they'll have to toil hard. Here comes the corner, and once again traded away to safety. Before the throw is taken in, a quick pointer that I like to make is with still one substitution in hand, which was remaining at least for Gokulam Kerala, they chose to bring in the likes of Basit Ahmed and not Alejandro Sanchez. Now that begs a question in my mind. I think Alejandro is not fit, and that can be one of the reasons why he was on the bench throughout. And with 3 goals already conceded, I think the coach deemed it not fit enough to get Alejandro in the mix. This is alright, understandable. I think they will take one match at a time. Nili Padomo with another corner. That is corner number 4 for the Malabarians, and Nili Padomo sends it into the mix once again. The defensive resilience of Real Kashmir is absolutely sky high right now.
Well, somewhat the answer in your own question itself about Alex Sanchez, but to clarify it a bit more, maybe the weather conditions, which is why he's struggling a bit, and at this stage of the game with 12 minutes remaining, you'd not want to risk your star man in these conditions. A long throw meanwhile from Gokulam. It is a corner, another one, and now a phase of attack from Gokulam, and that is why probably Alex Sanchez will not get any game time. All the substitutions are made already, and there's no way that Alex Sanchez is coming on after this, but their fans will surely have missed him. The top goal scorer of the league, alongside Aizawl FC's Lalrin Suwala, and Nili Patomo has been a busy man since coming on. Most of the times their attacks, as I mentioned, came from set pieces. Nili delivers in the box. Good collection this time. Not really a poor day for all goalkeepers. The home goalkeeper is very habituated in this condition. But one more thing to add on just about Devansh, if you might be watching it later on, but just to mention, happens as you said, bad days sometimes come. We're all humans, errors happen. The thing about this is you need to learn how to pick yourself up from here and then keep on performing. Maybe the coach will trust him again in the next match and he has to deliver. He has to go to the dressing room, he has to go to the training session, he has to wipe off the memories and start afresh, because he knows, at least he is confident on himself. He needs to believe that he has the quality. And once again, some good glimpses of the two coaches.
Ashfaq Ahmed and Domingo Cabrera, both excellent tacticians. Now, as you pointed out, you kind of gave a very good point. It's not about falling down on one match. It's about just coming back over and over again. Because see, in your sporting life, no matter what sport you play it over a long tenure, right? You play it for around 10, 12 years. And you have to understand a lot of things. Like first and foremost, walking into almost... I won't say inhuman, but walking into pretty difficult situations and then kind of making a hash of affairs, kind of making a mess of things. It can keep on happening, but all that matters is that you learn from your mistakes, you step up once again the next day, you wake up, you chin yourself up and you say, all right, I've done mistakes and I gotta learn and come back. Because we have seen a lot of errors happening in even grander stages. I mean, if you remember Unai Simon, we saw in the last Euro Cup the kind of goal he conceded. But again, that doesn't mean that he won't come back in the Spanish threads. He certainly will. There was a foul though, and it looks like it's another free kick. In fact, it is another free kick. Nili Perdomo once again tasked with the responsibility of whipping that in, as Jeremy Lalden Puya wanted to try and create a bit of chaos just ahead of the Spaniard. Let's see if Perdomo can send it. Well, Ayub has come out, Ashra Rebar has gone out. The chance still remains for Gokulam Kerala, but that certainly has flown miles out. Ramdina, another substitution as Mohammad Anam goes out. So with a couple of substitutions, Real Kashmir finally obliging to the norm of swapping their players. And that too with 9 minutes to go. 9 minutes of regulation time. Ishfaq Ahmed says, all right, you've had enough. I think now it's time. You should come back and rest. I'll let the other players savor the remaining of the game. And here comes Real Kashmir once again from the left.
Well, obligated, as you said, to bring on a few changes. And not really obligated, but yeah, on a lighter note, of course, we can look at it in that way. This man on your screen, Jeremy, he's been so impressive for Real Kashmir this season. And another one of his caliber, I would say. Ramdina has come on, another one of those from Mizoram. A lot of these youngsters have been coming out of that state, along with Manipur, not to mention. And here's Ramdina on the ball, and along with him has come, well, Adnan Ayub is it, if I'm not mistaken, Rohit, but right now Gokulam in attack from the right hand side. Two number 22s on a clash. It's the Portuguese who come on top. And now cleared away. Krizo on a physical battle. Rarely will you see that happen, but it's offside against Krizo. That's surprising, that's a bit surprising. But well, just near the center line, he's still questioning how is he offside. Maybe he was tracking back from that position. But tell you what, Gokulam in the last 5 meetings with Real Kashmir have never lost against this side in last 5 occasions. So this might be one rare occasion. But the problem is, out of those 5 matches, only one was at Real Kashmir's home, and that was a 0-0 draw where Gokulam didn't score. Apart from that, all 4 matches were at Gokulam's home, and they are unbeaten against Real Kashmir for 5 consecutive occasions. That was a risky take, but cleared away somehow. But today seems like that one stat is going to change.
I think since yesterday we are having a lot of stats being changed. Here's another opportunity for Real Kashmir as they come all the way from the right. A bit of space, a bit of shooting chance as well maybe. Well, a crossing chance in fact. And that's taken a deflection, and eventually Boba Aminu showing his class. Could have been a value addition to the side if introduced slightly early. Maybe could have averted this couple of goals that were being scored. But now that the damage is done, I think there's no point looking back at past.
Well, I would say if what you said about bringing them on in the second half, which has come true, they have come on the pitch in the second half, is true, then the strategy has backfired for Gokulam Kerala, because they've already conceded 3, and now those substitutions are not making much of a sense or much of help. Another cross grinded in. It probably went out of play before coming in back again. Hence, with 5 more minutes remaining, it is somewhat safe to say the way this team plays Real Kashmir, they will see off this 3-0 lead to 3 more points. And pressure on Devans again, and he's given it back to Jeremy. Heavy touch and controlled somehow by Basit Ahmed Bhatt.
Back with Gokulam Kerala once again as they send the ball forward, but Real Kashmir has all their bases covered. Another long ball. Of course, the target man was none other than Krizo. Here's a chance for Gokulam Kerala to just try and clear their danger lines. Here's an opportunity as they slowly move forward. Nili Perdomo looking around for a bit of space and some help. He has help from the right. There comes a lovely cross, and could have been a catastrophic move. Almost the ball falling at the feet of one of the Gokulam Kerala players. But a decent interception there. Nili Perdomo asking a few questions. It's going to be a corner. Another chance for the Spaniard to try and launch one into the mix. In fact, now they are closing in on the corners with Real Kashmir FC.
Well, it was a 7-1 lead in the corner stats for Real Kashmir, and suddenly they have stepped up, and Lili Perdomo will deliver again. Boba Aminu is there this time, but the corner is nowhere near him. And now Abhijit trying to control, turns expertly, but loses out in possession, and he's frustrated with himself. And have to mention one player who's come on for Gokulam, which is Basit Ahmed Bhatt. He is a local lad for Kashmir, born in Jammu and Kashmir, India, and he's played for Lone Star Kashmir. He's been with Real Kashmir in the 2020-21 season. Went to Sudeva, Delhi, and Downtown Heroes in Kashmir again in the I-League 2nd Division, and now for Gokulam Kerala, back at his own home. We're a bit late introduced. 55% possession for Real Kashmir, 45 for Gokulam.
I think for Real Kashmir, if you take a closer look, the likes of Mohit Shabir, the likes of Mohammad Hamad, I think they are all homegrown talents for Real Kashmir. So that tells you that how they also want to harness their local lads. There's another grounded cross there, but well intercepted by Gokulam Kerala as Boba Aminu comes in from the left, speeding past. I don't think it's Boba Aminu actually, no it's not. So apologies for that. There's an opportunity, sent another cross into the box, comfortably chested down by Dion Menezes. Another big name in the Real Kashmir lineup, someone who is absolutely unfazed under the pump.
Confidence personified with that little chest down. How well was that executed by Dion Menezes? Just makes the game look more soothing to the eye. And a long ball launched, which of course is not the most soothing things to see, but off and on turns out to be effective. Lili Perdomo plays it inside, and that's a giveaway to Carlos Lomba, who loses out. And it is a free kick in favor of Gokulam, because while falling down he just pulled the Gokulam player. And 2 more changes for Real Kashmir.
Foul हो गया.
Well, they were talking about not very pleasing. I'll get back to that. Let us quickly introduce you all to the changes. And it looks like Dion Menezes will be taken on, and Hilal Siddiqui, Soban Hilal Siddiqui, making his way to the center. Yes, that change has certainly happened. A free kick now for Gokulam's way. Nili Perdomo once again, ever since he's taken the yard. Oh, that could have been a lovely chance, and that goes begging. A nice rising header from Boba Aminu. And that was the 8th shot. Though it's a header, it would be considered as a shot when it comes to statistics for sure. But only if that could have been on target, it could have been something of a better opportunity for them to find the back of the net. And a yellow card coming out as well. It looks like... Was it the goalkeeper that was given the yellow card? We're not exactly sure about it. We'll quickly confirm.
Well, indeed. Not sure exactly who got, but someone in yellow picked a yellow card, and that wasn't an intended one, but well, a goal kick. Another long ball forward. Now they can afford that to run down the clock as well. You would generally see that as one of the many strategies of running down the clock. Just play the ball long and let your opponents do the work to get back on possession and try to create something. And Basit getting involved. A good touch from Shijin. He's thinking of a shot for sure, but lays it off. The better option surely. And now no fall. Back to Basit. He's involved very much. A while ago made an interception as well, just at the edge of his own box. Now from the left. And that is where somewhere it brings in a question about why Basit was as well not in the lineup, being a local lad. He's habituated to the conditions, and right now, as it seems, he's playing very decent so far since coming on. And Abdulaku plays it forward. The attack continues. Back with Gokulam.
Gokulam Kerala now trying to use that central channel to their advantage. Tries to twist and turn around, create some space for themselves. Maybe, and just maybe, if they can find a consolation goal here, I think even that, they'll take that with a smile. And Nili Perdomo, he cuts in sharply, setting himself. That's a brilliant piece of defending, but the ball's fallen back at the feet of Gokulam Kerala. Sends it closer towards that goal, but not to be. Today is a day where the Snow Leopards will roar, and they'll roar emphatically.
And look at that bit of work on the left-hand side from the substitute man who has just come on, Shoban Hilal Siddiqui. Another change to run down the clock. It is the Lebanese finally coming on. Mohamed Maqsood in place of Carlos Lomba, who also has to be praised. It was him acting as a centre-back a while ago to stop that attack in the back line.
Well, he certainly had some tremendous presence for sure. And can very well be a contender for the Player of the Match award. Again, time will say all of it. Time will reveal who actually takes it on. And it looks like the confirmation that we are having about the extra time. 6 minutes have been added on. This could have been a chance for Gokulam Kerala. Danger still not over. They are chasing the ball as if their lives depend on it. But in this case, they will have to play deceased, for Real Kashmir has done a brilliant job of keeping the ball away from them. Sensational defending.
A quick question, Rohit. They have a couple of 4-0 score lines, one at home, one away from home, Real Kashmir. With 3.5 minutes remaining, do we have another goal from Real Kashmir to make it 4-0? Right now it's Gokulam in attack, back with Shoban Hilal Siddiqui, who looks to be a confident man. And the substitutes now, 5 of them on pitch. Here's Mir. Reza will play it out wide left.
Well, answering your question, I think that can be slightly difficult because suddenly Gokulam Kerala has had a late awakening. And now it is Gokulam Kerala who's on the move. They are coming over and over again. Ever since Boba Aminu has come on, I think the team looks a lot more organized. And that is why it's always important to time your substitutions. You may have 5 substitutions in your tank, but if you do not know when to time them, when to bring them on, particularly in such glacial conditions, Devansh, Dabas, I am not really sure in which dimension he is in today, but that would have been Howler number 4, and the question that you asked would have been answered straight away. But thankfully, Trizo just couldn't reach out for the ball. And Gokulam Kerala once again on the move. In fact, Mohammad Ahmad has been shown a yellow card. I think that was the yellow card that we were talking about a few moments ago. The captain of Real Kashmir, Gokulam Kerala on the move once again, looking for a bit of support. Does get support. Now switches it towards the right.
It was Basit again involved, and here he's on the ball. Basit Ahmed Putt switches it to the left. Another good ball to the flanks. And now they need to drive inside, but stopped by 4 yellow shirts. And here's Maqsood. Still finds a pass. The substitutes again involved. Adnan Ayub to Maqsood and back to Issa. Forward pass. Krizo doesn't get it, and the reason is Boba Minu. And now Gokulam can try to create, and rightly mentioned Rohit. Boba Minu is one of the reasons they found that solidity at the back and have now a chance to move forward.
Gokulam Kerala, they'll go for a long ranger, but that certainly is shot for the Milky Way. That's out of the Milky Way, in fact. I mean, great shot nonetheless, but in football we don't have rewards for high shots. So, but yes, again, with that being said, again, with a lot at stake, I think this defeat will hurt Gokulam Kerala's title aspirations. Of course, they were trailing out in the 6th position. Remember, they had a great start to this tournament, but somehow they've just slipped out of favor. I think their coach will need a certain unit to come together and a leader. Most importantly, like the way Krizo has led. It's understandable Devansh made the mistakes, yes, but Krizo's constant pressing has forced him to kind of being in the act, and at times when you're hurrying in the act too much, things become challenging.
It does, and that previous shot from Gokulam just sums up the day for them. That is how it has been for Gokulam Kerala today, and not much time left here in this game. 30 more seconds, maybe 1 or 2 last attacks involved, but as you said, it'll harm Gokulam's aspirations of the title. That's beautifully done, but given back to Real Kashmir. But this performance will just help the title aspirations for Real Kashmir. And Gokulam tried to move forward again, but I'm sure, as you said, about Gokulam's hopes and stuff, but at the same time, it is a long league. More than half of it is to be played, and the away matches, as we all are aware, is difficult for them. But this one was not that difficult a job to seal for the home side. 2 goals from Krizo, a goal from Jeremy, 3-0 for Real Kashmir. 5th clean sheet, 5 matches unbeaten. Real Kashmir rise a joint 2nd with Srinidhi, 17 points in their pack, and a clinical performance.
Well, the Snow Leopards, they were definitely the more dominant side of the two. Despite Gokulam Kerala finding solidity towards the end, I think they were completely outplayed throughout the match. Of course, Devansh Dabas will be a name that will be discussed later out in the dugout of Gokulam Kerala. But with that being said, Real securing the bragging rights. That's the stats for you. 54% ball possession for the Snow Leopards. 11 shots, out of which 7 were on target. 9 shots from Gokulam Kerala, 4 on target. 10 fouls for Gokulam Kerala, 15 for Real Kashmir. 1 yellow card each. 7 corners for Real Kashmir. Eventually, even in that battle, Gokulam Kerala couldn't equalize despite coming close. Talking about the shots, 11 shots from Real Kashmir, with Jeremy and Krizo taking 3 each. Mohammad Anam had a couple of them as well. Asrar Rebar, Carlos Lomba and Mohammad Hamad testing their luck from range.
Well, indeed, a number of attempts, not that clean in front of goal, Real Kashmir, but just those errors helping their way. And they need to work harder for better performances, which they have given in the past when they travelled away as well. 9 shots from Gokulam. They tried, but their tries were not enough. Boba Minu, Edupetiya, Komron, Haku and Rishad, all with a shot each, and Nili Patomo with a few attempts since coming on. 15 fouls scattered around the park, Real Kashmir, and this is generally how they like to deal with things. Stop the attacks, stop the momentum, and that is what they have done. 3 each for Krizo, Carlos Lomba and Shaheen. Asrar Rebar with 2 fouls, Dion and Hamad with 1 each.
And now we'll take a look at how Gokulam Kerala posted their physical self. Haku with 3 fouls, Abhijit with a couple of them, Rashad with a couple of them, Shahif with a couple of them, Edu Bidia, the Spaniard who had an off day in office, a rare one in fact, just had a 1 foul. But nonetheless, this was an encounter that saw Real Kashmir once again stamping their authority before they roll on the road. But then Gokulam Kerala, their trip away from home certainly wasn't a memorable one. They can soak in the beauty for sure, but definitely not the match result. And it was Krizo who got us underway. Mohammad Hamad came extremely close to scoring, but was denied, and then a quick free kick from Komran Tursunov was well taken care of by the opposition goalkeeper Mohit Shabir, as Kashmir kept on fighting. And then another chance, but Devansh Dabas did try and come out. This was the first error committed by Devansh Dabas, as Krizo, the unforgiving Ivorian, didn't miss from that range. Another lovely header, but wasn't going to test Mohit Shabir at any cost whatsoever.
Well, that was 1-0 at half-time, and then the damage restrictions were not brought on by Gokulam, and they were punished. That was the first of the chances from Asrar Mehbar at that far side with a shot testing the keeper. Did well on that occasion, but then he couldn't contain for long. Jeremy Laldan-Puya with the step-overs and the shot. And a big error, and that's where the game spilled out of his hands and Gokulam's hands too, because after that another miscommunication with the centre back who needed to do better as well. It just cost, and that's a gift to Krizo to make it 3-0. Chances kept coming, but the scoreline stayed 3-0 at the end of the game, and there were a few more attacks from Gokulam after that.
Well, I think with this we'll come to an end of what has been a pretty decent battle of two sides. Real Kashmir securing a 3-0 victory with Krizo with a brace, Jeremy with a solitary strike. And this will be your commentators Rohit and Bhashwar signing off for now. But there's another crackling fixture coming up in the evening, so do not forget to tune in. Thank you everyone for joining.